Hello students, welcome back. So in this part we'll be discussing the algebra of complex numbers. That is, first of all we'll study the equality of two complex numbers, then addition, subtraction, multiplication and division of complex numbers. Finally, we'll discuss how to compute the square root of a complex number. So let's begin.
So the next thing that we have is the algebra of complex numbers. So in algebra of complex numbers, we'll be discussing the equality of complex numbers first of all. Then we'll discuss addition of complex numbers, subtraction of complex numbers, multiplication of complex numbers, division, and finally how to find out the square root of complex number. So first of all, let's discuss equality of complex numbers. When we discuss about equality, that obviously means when will we term the two complex numbers to be equal, right? So if we have z1 and z2 to be two complex numbers of the form x1 plus iota y1 and z2 is x2 plus iota y2, then if we say z1 is equal to z2, that would mean real part of z1 is equal to real part of z2 and imaginary part of z1 is equal to imaginary part of z2. That is quite obvious, right? If I say these two are equal, z1 is equal to z2, that would mean this term is equal to this term and this term would be equal to this term. So if z1 equal to z2 would mean x1 plus iota y1 is equal to x2 plus iota y2. So that would mean this is equal to this and this is equal to this simultaneously, right? So we have a question, this is quite simple, we have a question based on it. Find the real values of x and y for which the equation this is satisfied. Okay, so how would we do this question? First of all, I'll simplify this equation, simplifying the terms that I'll try to rearrange the terms. So I have x4 plus 2xi minus 3x square minus yi, and I'll get this minus 2yi on this side. So I have equal to 4 minus 5i. This is what I have after rearranging the terms, and this would mean again I would try to separate the real and imaginary parts, right? So I have x4 minus 3x square, this we enclose in one bracket, and plus iota times what we have is 2x minus 3y, right? Equal to will have 4 minus 5i. Now as we have just now discussed about equality of complex numbers, now these two complex numbers are equal, that would mean their real parts are equal, that is I have x4 minus 3x square would be equal to 4 and simultaneously 2x minus 3y would be equal to minus 5, because real part would be equal to real part and imaginary part would be equal to imaginary part. So these are the two equations, let's term it as 1 and 2. These are the two equations that we have, and we'll just try to solve out these equations to find out the value of x and y. So I have x4 minus 3x square is equal to 4. After this I am solving it out here. So this means x4 minus 3x square minus 4 would be equal to 0, and if I take x square as t, then I'll have t square minus 3t minus 4 would be equal to 0, and by solving this equation you can get t plus 1, you can factorize it and we'll get t plus 1 t minus 4 would be equal to 0, which gives me t is minus 1 and 4, which means x square is 1 and minus 1 and 4, right? So, and we are required to find out the real values of x and y only. So that means I cannot find out this because it just give me imaginary values. So I get x is equal to plus minus 2. This is what I get from this equation. X is equal to plus minus 2, and now what I'll do is substituting x equal to plus minus 2 in second equation. Now I'll substitute this in second equation and I'll get y equal to 3 and 1 by 3. So the required values of x and y are x is plus minus 2 and y is 3 1 by 3. This is the simple required answer. So in equality of complex numbers, you just need to remember that real part is equal to real part and imaginary part would be equal to imaginary part. Okay, now we have the addition and subtraction of complex numbers. Now in addition is simple, that is you just add your real part to the real part and imaginary part gets added to the imaginary part. And similarly in subtraction also, the real part gets subtracted from the real part and imaginary part gets subtracted from the imaginary part. So we have z1 plus z2 would be equal to x1 plus iota y1 plus x2 plus iota y2. That would be x1 plus x2, that is real part of first gets added to real part of second, plus iota times imaginary part of first gets added to imaginary part of second. That is real z1 plus z2 is real z1 plus real z2, and imaginary z1 plus z2 is equal to imaginary z1 plus imaginary z2. Now subtraction, similarly z1 minus z2 is this, so real parts get subtracted and imaginary parts get subtracted, and real z1 minus z2 is real z1 minus real z2, and imaginary z1 minus z2 again is imaginary z1 minus imaginary z2. So this I suppose was quite simple. Now we have multiplication of complex numbers. This is also a very simple concept. z1 and z2 are two complex numbers. We multiply them, that means we have x1 plus iota y1 into x2 plus iota y2. So this gets multiplied by this, we have x1 x2. Now plus we'll have x1 iota y2, right? So you can have it as this, I have x1 plus iota y1 into x2 plus iota y2, right? So what I do is, first of all I will multiply these two, so I have x1 x2 plus iota times I get y2 x1 or x1 y2 plus again iota times I will get y1 x2 plus iota square y1 y2. So what does that mean? Now we will collect the real and imaginary parts. See, iota square is minus 1. So this will become x1 x2 minus y1 y2. I enclose them within brackets because these are the real parts, plus iota times I can write y1 x2 plus x1 y2. So this is what I get. So this is what it's written here, x1 x2 minus y1 y2 plus iota times x1 y2 plus x2 y1. So what does that mean? That means that real of z1 z2, real part of product of z1 z2 is real z1 into real z2 minus imaginary z1 into imaginary z2. You can remember it in this way also. And similarly imaginary part is equal to imaginary z1 into real z2 plus imaginary z2 into real z1. This is the imaginary part. So this is imaginary z1 into real z2 plus imaginary z2 into real z1. And similarly if we talk of a real number lambda, and what happens if we multiply the complex number z by lambda, then obviously the real part gets multiplied with the lambda and as well as the imaginary part gets multiplied with the real number lambda. So we have lambda into z is lambda x plus iota times lambda y. Okay, now we have some important properties which are quite obvious. Lambda times z1 plus z2 will become lambda z1 plus lambda z2. Lambda 1 into lambda 2 z is lambda 1 lambda 2 z. So whether you multiply lambda 1 by lambda 2 into z or you multiply the product of lambda 1 and lambda 2 by z, the result in both the cases would be same. And then I have lambda 1 plus lambda 2 into z is lambda 1 z plus lambda 2 z. In fact, if we talk of all these three properties in particular, then this property and this property are special cases of distributive law, right? This is quite simple. These are the special cases of distributive law, whereas this comes from the second one, comes from the associative law of multiplication. This is associative law of multiplication of complex numbers. So these properties I suppose are quite simple. In fact, they are quite obvious also. Okay, now we have division of complex numbers. As we have discussed addition, subtraction and multiplication, division is also quite simple for complex numbers. So if we have two complex numbers z1 and z2, z1 is x1 plus iota y1 and z2 is x2 plus iota y2, Then z1 by z2 is x1 plus iota y1 by x2 plus iota y2. Now what we'll do is we'll multiply this numerator as well as denominator by x2 minus iota y2. So this is how we simplify complex numbers. So I multiply it by the x2 minus iota y2, both numerator and denominator. So what do I get? x1 x2 plus we'll get y1 y2, because we'll get minus iota square y1 y2. Iota square is minus 1, so we have plus y1 y2, plus iota times we'll get y1 x2 minus x1 y2 upon, again we'll get a minus b, a plus b, so we have a square minus b square, a minus b into a plus b, a square minus b square, so we have x2 square minus iota square y2 square, again that becomes x2 square plus y2 square. So finally we get this as result. So that means that z1 by z2 is real part of z1 by z2 plus iota times imaginary part of z1 by z2. So this is also quite simple. So now we have a very important topic of complex numbers, that is square root of complex number. How do you find out the square root of a given complex number? And you can expect questions from this portion, right? So just concentrate. Suppose I have a complex number of the form z is x plus I y. This is the given complex number, right? We have a complex number given as z equal to x plus iota y, and we are required to find out its square root. Then what does that mean? I'll assume a plus ib to be under root of x plus I y, and therefore I am just required to find out the value of a plus ib. That is, once I get the values of a and b, I'll be able to find out the square root of x plus I y. So first of all, what I do is simply squaring both sides so that I get rid of the square root. So I have a plus iota b whole square is x plus I y. This gives me a square minus b square plus 2aib is x plus I y. That means a square minus b square is x and 2ab is y, right? How do I get this? Just by equating the real and imaginary parts. So I have a square minus b square is x and 2ab is y. So what do I do now is x square plus y square. I try to find out the value of x square plus y square. And how do we get this? X we have already got, so x square becomes this, plus y square is 2ab whole square. That simply means x square plus y square is a square plus b square whole square. If you know, open up these two brackets and you simplify, you'll get it as this, because this will become plus 4a square b square, and here we'll have minus 2a square b square. So that will become plus 2a square b square. So it becomes a whole square of a square plus b square. Now this means a square plus b square can be written as mod z. This is my first equation, and a square minus b square we have already obtained here is x. So once I have got these two equations, I can simplify them to find out the values of a and b. So how do we proceed? Now I have a square plus b square is mod z and a square minus b square is x. So a square becomes mod z plus x by 2. This is what I get as the value of a square. So a will become plus minus, this is plus minus under root of mod z plus x by 2. Let us write it as this so that you don't get confused between z and 2. So this is what is the value of a, and similarly you'll get, simplify this and you'll get it, the value of b you'll get as under root of mod z minus x by 2. So once we have obtained the values of a and b, you can easily find out the value of a plus ib, and therefore the under root of x plus I y. Now, so under root of x plus I y was a plus ib, and therefore that is equal to plus minus, this will get as plus minus of under root mod z plus x, I can write as real z, because see here z is x plus iy, that means x is real part of z and y is the imaginary part of z. So this I get as plus minus of under root of mod z plus real z by 2 plus iota times under root of again mod z minus real z by 2. This is the value of under root of x plus iy, that is a plus ib, and we have simply substituted the values of a and b. So, and now this was a required value of under root of x plus iy. Further, you can also, what you can do is replacing I by minus I. If you do, then you can also get the value of x minus iy, which would be again plus minus. You have to simply replace I by minus I and you'll get this value also, right? So this process is quite simple. We just need to assume one complex number to be equal to under root of the given complex number, and then you'll just need to find out the values of a and b. Now we'll be discussing some questions based on this concept and the things will be much clearer. So the first example that we have is find the square root of 3 plus 4i. So as we have just now discussed, what we'll do is simply assume, suppose I have z is under root of 3 plus 4i. This is what we have to find out, and so we assume it to be equal to a plus ib. Now once I have assumed it to be a plus ib, again what I'll do is I have 3 plus 4i is a plus ib whole square. This is the first step, that you'll square both sides. So this gives me 3 plus 4i is a square minus b square plus 2aib. Equating real and imaginary parts, again we have a square minus b square is 3 while 2ab is 4. Therefore this gives me a square plus b square would be equal to under root of a square minus b square whole square plus 4a square b square. Right? So this I can write as, now once you have found out a square minus b square is 3, so this becomes 9 plus 4 times a square b square is again 16, 4 square. So this I get as 5. Now I've got the values of a square minus b square is 3 and a square plus b square is 5. So you can just simplify these two equations. Solving them, we can get the value of a is plus minus 2. Simply you can subtract these two equations, you will get the value of b. Then substituting the value of b, you can get the value of a, and the value of b becomes plus minus 1, right? And therefore we have a plus ib becomes plus minus 2 plus simply I, because the value of b is 1, so we have I into 1, so that we have plus minus of 2 plus I. That is the required answer. Or what you can do is, if you want to save time, another method, in fact that is simply the application of the formula that we have discussed just now. The formula that we had was that under root of x plus iy is plus minus under root mod z plus real z by 2 plus iota times under root of mod z minus real z by 2. So if we apply this formula directly, what we'll get is plus minus of, this is plus minus of under root 5, because mod z will come out to be 5. Then we have real z is 3 by 2 plus iota times under root mod z is again 5 minus real z is 3 by 2. So this becomes plus minus of under root 8 by 2, that's under root 4 is 2 plus iota. So see, the answer that we have obtained in both the cases is same. You can either proceed this way, or you can, what you can do is you can proceed it this way.
Well, I hope you must have understood the concept of algebra of complex numbers, that is addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. Now in the next session we will be switching to the three important terms of complex numbers, that is conjugate, modulus and argument. So stay tuned.